Chapter 5 The Walk. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by the hand. Psalm 37:23-24. So, the Lord directs the steps of the godly. You may be thinking, I don't think I'm godly, or I don't have a walk with God. You may not even know God. Even if you don't acknowledge God, that doesn't mean that He does not exist. But if God does exist, if He created everything and holds it all together, wouldn't you want to have a relationship with Him? I want to suggest to you that regardless of whether you want to or not, you have a walk with the God of the universe. He has been with you from the beginning of your life until now. He's crazy about you and He wants you to know Him. He has your best interest in mind. He delights in every detail of your life. If the Creator of the universe has some good plans for you, perhaps better than your own plans, wouldn't you want to walk with Him? Why all this talk about a future with God? As a Christian, you have a future with God both here on earth and eternally in heaven. We will exist in His kingdom forever and ever with others who have the same hope. What does that look like? After the death and resurrection of Jesus, He promised to come back to earth to take all who believed with Him to paradise. The Apostle Paul talks about this in his letter to the Colossians. He says, since you have been raised to new life with Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Christians are raised with Jesus Christ to a new life on earth. Our hope is spending eternity under the rule of Jesus as perfected bodies and souls. I recall times that I was disconnected because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I would seek things to make me happy. I traveled, walking from one experience to another, but never really feeling content. I always had the sense that I was somehow missing the mark or missing something special. It was not until I started to walk with God and let Him delight in me and I in Him that I began to enjoy life. When I met my wife, Robin, I knew I needed to make a change. She wasn't going to settle for a man that was halfway committed to his faith. She motivated me to do better, to walk closer with God, and I'm thankful. We've been married for 23 years, and I could say that because God has always been part of our walk together. I am a better person than I was. I begin to be happy with myself. Now I have a family and I have the privilege of helping people. This is my walk with God, and I've enjoyed every step. I realize that I matter to God, and you do too. You can trust God with your future here on earth and eternally in heaven. It has been hard. There are times when I stumble, and you will too, but the joy that I experience now is so much better than what I had. God promises that He will hold me and you by the hand, and He won't let us fall. This is what it means to walk with God. Think of a small child reaching out for the parent's hand. There is a sense of security that a child has in holding on to one who leads them. In the same way, you can reach out, hold your Heavenly Father's hand, and trust Him to keep you from falling. Let the Lord direct you. Let Him delight in you and you in Him. Take some time today. Don't wait. Get in a quiet place away from the distractions of the world and talk with God. You don't need to use fancy words. Just talk to Him about your cares. Ask Him to come into your life and direct your steps. He wants to walk with you. Tell Him you want to hold His hand and let Him lead. Over the next days and weeks, you are going to be blown away by how much He cares about you and where He takes you. Remember, the walk with God is a walk in humility. The little child must allow the parent to lead. When the child begins to struggle and make his or her own way, the walk becomes frustrating for both of them. Let God lead. This is the only way we are able to walk with God.